Hello, everyone, and welcome back to It All Starts With a Wish podcast. My name is Rachel.
And I'm Mark. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy 2025.
I hope that if you have made a New Year's resolution, that you are still sticking to it and haven't given up on it in the first week.
In the week, yeah. My job is right next to a workout world. Are workout worlds, like, nationwide? I feel like they are.
Yeah, it's a pretty...
Like, across the United States.
I don't know nationwide, but it's...
But, like, it's pretty a commonplace.
I call it a national chain.
So I work in a plaza right next to a workout world, and I can't wait to see how many people in cars. I mean, there's actually quite a few people that go there anyway when I get there early in the morning, but I just can't wait to see just how many more people. But stay with it. You got this. Whatever it is.
You know, I never really truly understood the whole, like, New Year thing. Like, I get the concept of wanting to, like...
I was just talking about this to someone at work. I said, you know who doesn't like the New Year? Or, like, New Year's Eve or, like, New Year's Day and, like, that kind of thing and, like, New Year's resolutions. And she was like, who? And I was like, my husband. She went, why?
Because it's ridiculous. That's why. There's literally no difference between...
That's exactly what I said. I was like, because you wake up and it's just another day. There's no difference
between 11:59 on December 31st and 12 a.m. on January 1st. There is zero difference.
It is. It's 2025 now.
All that it means is that I'm going to screw up the date for the next 3 months until I adjust. That's all it means. Literally all it means. I'm just going to keep writing 2024, and I'm going to mess it up until about mid-March when I'll finally figure it out. And then by the time I figure it out, then guess what? The year's going to be over, and then it's going to be 2026. There's literally no difference. And I understand people's desires to, like, want to, like, okay, the old year's done. Yeah. Maybe you didn't have the best of last year's, like, and you want to, like, move on. And it's, like, a moment that you think is a turning point. Like, you can turn the page. It's a new year. It's a new me. You could change that, though. It could be a new year, new you, any day. Any day that you wake up, you could be like, today's the day. I'm changing something. I'm going to start good habits. You don't have to wait for January 1st to make positive life changes.
No, you don't.
So why do people always... Like, I don't understand it. I really don't.
Because it's the start of a new calendar year.
Big deal. Big deal.
That means Guess you have the rest of the year of 2025
And the whole, like, celebrating midnight thing is even stupider. Because by the time it gets to us on the east coast of North America...
I know, everyone's already...
95% of the world has already celebrated New Year's.
Mark, don't be a party pooper.
And that was, like, the whole thing with, like, 2K. Like, remember, like, when it was Y2K, 2000 and everybody was like...
thought it was...
Why? Oh, the computers are going to end. Well, what different... It's already been the new year in China and nothing changed. Like, people were all worried about the moment of the clock turning to 12 here. But, like, nothing happened in Europe when they celebrated it 5 hours ago. Like, are we that, like, egocentric that we're like, oh my gosh. But when it happens,
only when I'm in, like,
New York. In New York City, it's going to
happen.
And then that's another thing, too. Why do people want to go stand there when it's freezing cold, literally, like, packed in like sardines? People are probably peeing their pants. People are probably smelly.
Their pants.
Been standing there all day. Yeah, because they've been standing there all day. Where do you go to the bathroom? If you've been waiting for your moment for 14 hours that you've been standing there in the cold, have you ever stood in the cold? You know what it makes you want to do?
I just really don't think people are peeing on each other.
It makes you want to pee. Oh, I bet you there's a lot of peeing in pants.
In pants?
Oh, I can guarantee it. Yep. Have you ever walked into New York City? The whole city smells like pee.
No I know, but, like, I don't think people go with the intention of, I'm going to pee.
Well, no kidding. People don't go with the intention of, I'm going to pee my pants. If it was that common,
people would be like,
It's disgusting.
Whatever. Anyways. Go ahead. What kind of dad joke do you got? You know what? I think I should read one this week. It's a new year.
No.
Yes. Let me pick. New year, new me. I'll be on the dad joke side.
I don't like this. This makes me very uncomfortable. Give me my dad joke back.
No. Just one time. Just one time. How does NASA organize a party?
How?
You have no guesses?
No.
they plan it.
Give me my book back.
That was actually a good one.
Because you read it. Give me my book back. If I had said that, you would have been like, that's awful.
All right. Anyways. So today...
Jingle
Jingle bells.
There's still jingle bells on our table over here from my son.
We're still festive. When does the 12 days of Christmas actually end?
Let's think about this, shall we?
January what?
Let's think about this. When does it actually end? 12 days after Christmas, honey.
Yeah, I meant the date.
It's 12 days after Christmas is when it ends.
Okay, but that makes it what? January what?
I think January 6th, technically.
Okay. That was what I was saying.
Because the Epiphany is celebrated on
gosh.
January 6th.
Okay. That's not how I was. I understand it's 12 days after Christmas. I meant what date in January it made that. Don't look at me like that. Anyways.
Oh boy. Anyways. In the new year, what are we doing?
Going to Walt Disney World.
Yay!
So, at the time of recording...
We need to find a better place for that bell. Hold on.
Okay.
We'll put that over there. Okay.
All right. Yeah, it needs to be away from you. Because you're just going to keep ringing.
Them are fighting words.
Yep. At the time of recording, we are 87 days away.
So by the time this posts, we will be less.
Yes.
Yay.
And that means we only have about 27 more days before we pick our dining reservations.
And when we talk about planning purposes for Disney, right, I think that this is the one that sneaks up on people.
It does.
Like, I think people are pretty good if they want to do Genie Plus 7 days before. Like, you have that pretty much in mind because you're already starting to, like, mentally,
60 days is a long way before.
Plan and stuff like that. But if you're not thinking about it, 60 days can sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And then if you miss that 60-day mark, it's not the end of the world because most things that you would make reservations for at the 60-day mark, bear in mind it's not just dining, but it's also your specialty experiences, like if you want to get your hair cut at Main Street Barbershop or like things like that. You could also make those reservations at 60 days out, so you want to have that on your radar too. Not always the end of the world if you don't make these at 60 days out, but there are certain experiences that you definitely want to make 60 days out.
They're going to fill up pretty quick.
Yeah.
A lot of the character breakfasts are dining. Popular restaurants like Cinderella's Royal Table. Ohana is another big one. Topolino's is a big one. Just things like that. It's why it's good to have a planner on your side.
Sure is.
Let you know what ones are really the first ones you should get and other ones that you can maybe hold off on, in the planning process that, or that you might not even need a reservation for. You never know. So, we have discussed some of the places that we want to go.
Not really, though.
Yeah, we did.
A little bit.
A little bit. I'm saying like maybe two.
Yeah, but we haven't like actually had our discussion.
But no, we actually haven't like planned it out day by day.
No.
Or anything.
Nor made any final decisions on anything.
But
so we're recording our conversations that way you can hear the mayhem and the madness that is us planning where we want to eat.
It's true. We get there on a Tuesday, right?
We do. We stay a Tuesday through the following Thursday, which means we stay for part of 2 weeks, 1 weekend. And we like to travel on Tuesdays because Tuesdays tend to be slow travel days.
Yeah, and cheaper flights. Usually.
Tends to be cheaper flights, although this is not held super true. Like, this was more true, like, I will say, like, before COVID. Now, post-COVID, it's kind of messed everything up. But we like to travel on Tuesdays because most people tend to travel on a Sunday or a Monday for the first day of their trip in Walt Disney World. So Tuesday's kind of like enough staggered from that we find it's a good day to go and head down there. Now, we have made the choice, which is not the choice we make every time, but this time we have made the choice that we are not buying a park ticket for that first day.
Yeah, that was a pretty big decision, I think, and I didn't want to say that I was... Like, I wasn't mean about it, right? I just was thinking more logically. We have a toddler this time. Our son will be, like, what, reaching 2.5-ish?
Around 2.5.
Around there. So we're going to be in, like, peak toddler survival mode when it comes to, like, napping and, like, tantrums, I feel like. I know it can get a little worse as they reach the threes, but yeah, I just think this time his schedule, I feel like, is going to be a little more complicated than when we went the first time because he kind of just napped anywhere and it really didn't matter. And he couldn't go on much, so it was more of a trip for us. But this trip, almost all of it is focused on him and like what he can experience, and like, you know, we're kind of structuring the day around his routine ish. So I was just like, really, after a whole day of travel, by the time we got to even though we have an early flight, it's like by the time we got to the resort.
We have a very early flight. We're flying out at 6 a.m., which means we should get to Walt Disney World by like 11 a.m. the latest.
Yeah. And then
so
that's
usually
probably like
when we
nap
do that,
time.
when we do that, though, we usually buy park tickets because we have the whole day there. And you never know if your room's going to be ready or not. And so it's nice to have the park tickets because then you can just leave your bags and go to the park. But we decided that we would not risk that
feel
being
like
too overwhelming.
Meltdown is going to happen. That's a lot for one day. And I think just having a nice relaxing, maybe go to Disney Springs, have some dinner there, you know, that kind of vibe.
And hope that the room is ready early.
We can hope. So is there anything in Disney Springs that we want to eat on that day?
Yes.
Where?
Homecoming.
Yeah, we haven't been there.
Have not been there.
Yeah.
Have heard very good things about Homecoming. Chef Art Smith, pretty famous chef. He worked for Oprah for a while. He's known for Southern, like, soul, like, home-style cooking. So, from everything I've heard, it's fantastic, and I really want to give this restaurant a try. So I would like to make reservations for Homecoming. And maybe we do that for an early dinner. You kind of see how that goes. That way we know for sure we're back at the hotel relatively early. So that way we can have a good night's sleep before we head out for adventures the next day.
Adventuring the next day. Now, I should say to those of you listening, you no longer need a park reservation for your days at the parks.
There's very few exceptions.
Yes, very few exceptions.
Military passes, as we just learned, you still need park reservations. Annual passes, you still may, depending on your type of annual pass, need a park reservation. So just know that.
But for a standard ticket package or like a ticket-only package that you are just buying straight through Disney, you are not required to make park reservations, but you still can if you so choose to. I do think even though you don't have a reservation per se, it's nice to plan out what parks you want to hit that day, just so you have a better idea instead of winging it, so to speak, when you wake up. So because we usually do the park hopper, we tend to split it up and do one park in the morning and one park in the afternoon. And then throughout the week, we kind of get, you know, the different vibes of morning parks and then parks at night. And we switch it up so we can see everything at different times of the day. So, with that being said, I think we should kick off our Wednesday at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Magic Kingdom tends to be an okay park to visit on Wednesdays. I usually
I didn't know where that sentence was really going, but I thought it was going to be like an okay park to like start with, but it was like specifically on Wednesdays. No, but that's good. I'm glad. So we could go there on Wednesday and it's not a big deal.
So as I was saying,
okay, sorry.
Magic Kingdom tends to be a good park to visit on Wednesdays. I would tend to tell people to avoid Magic Kingdom on the weekends and on Mondays, because usually the first day of someone's trip, they're going to do this. They're going to go to Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the first day of the person's full first day is a Monday. So Mondays tend to be fairly busy at Magic Kingdom. So I think Magic Kingdom in the morning is not an awfully bad play. I think what we also have to consider here is that we have made the choice that we're not buying tickets for the first day, as we already mentioned, so the Tuesday. The Saturday, we're not buying park tickets, which is the middle of the stay. And then our last day, which is a Thursday. So we are buying park tickets for 7 days.
Well,
So
yeah,
Wednesday,
not Thursday,
Thursday,
because that's our
Friday.
travel day.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of the first week, and then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the next week.
Right.
So with that in mind, right, if you're planning when you want to eat, you need to keep that in mind, because on those days where you do not have park tickets, you cannot go to a restaurant in a
In
park.
a park.
That may seem obvious to us saying this now, but that is an important point that people may not realize.
Yeah.
There are tons of restaurants that you can make reservations at the resorts and at Disney Springs. But know that on those days, you are limited to those restaurants and none of the restaurants.
Yeah, and also keep
park.
in mind, too, that transportation doesn't go resort to resort. So if you do have a lot of low time, maybe picking something closer to Disney Springs would be good. Especially having, like Port Orleans with the boat ride or Saratoga. Like, if you're going to have a lot of downtime. Just because if you're, like, way off in Animal Kingdom, it's going to cost you a little bit to get over to, like, the Riviera and doing minivans or Ubers or whatever it is. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Yep, absolutely. So we like to do a dining reservation for each day of our stay. You may not choose not to do this. You may only want to do sit-down restaurants on certain days.
Twice.
You may want to do it twice in one day.
Yeah.
So it's totally up to you. We find that usually doing one a day is pretty good with, like, not overspending. Whereas if you're doing more than one, keep in mind they're going to be more expensive because they're sit-down restaurants.
I do want to say that we are not doing the dining plan either.
Also a good point. That will change your
changes things.
strategy. If you're doing the dining plan and you have the standard dining plan and you know you get a table service every
single day,
you're going to want to make sure that you have one reserved every single day.
or
2 in one day, right? Remember, it's a bank, so it doesn't have to be literally, but you want to make sure that as many days as you have there,
you have
that many table services. If you're going for a 7-day trip, you have 7 table services reserved.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have them reserved, you're going to lose that money.
Don't do that.
Bear that in mind. So yes, we are not using a Disney dining plan, but we usually like to plan 1 table service a day. So bearing that in mind, that means that we're going to select probably 10 table service meals that we want to make reservations for. You can make that reservation 60 days in advance of the first day of your trip, and you can make it for the duration of your trip as long as it's not longer than 14 days.
Yeah.
If it's 14 days, then it starts up again.
You have to wait, yeah.
But if your trip is shorter than 14 days, you can make it for the duration of it. That plays in here with the fact that the restaurants that are more sought after, you're going to want to put towards the end of your trip. The reason why I say this is that, bear in mind, everybody else can make these reservations for the duration of their trip. Your first day there is probably not the day to try to get a reservation at Topolino's.
Right.
Because it's probably already full by the time
or
your
like very
time
limited
rolls around
times
on that 60-day mark. However, if you're there for 10 days, towards the end of that trip,
see a little more availability.
You're going to have more availability.
Yeah.
Because people who have already made reservations in previous days may not have stayed that far, may have already made their reservation there. So you want to try to push very sought after reservations. You have a better chance towards the end of your stay, especially if you're staying for more than, we'll say, 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, 5 days is kind of tough because there really is no late part. I feel like when it's after 5 days, then it becomes, later, giving like that whole week, like kind of give it that week and then add those in.
So are there any restaurants that you're like, yes, we must do on this trip?
Topolino's.
Okay, Topolino's is one of mine too.
Yeah.
So I think that is one that we're definitely going to want to shoot for towards the end of the vacation.
Okay.
What else? I have Yak and Yeti. I feel like that is
I thought we were just doing like sought after things. Or we're just doing any of them.
What is a must do for you on this trip was the question. Focus.
I'm sorry.
This is serious.
I'm sorry. No, Topolino's I really want to do. Yak and Yeti I'd want to do. Honestly, other than that,
Really? Okay. I have 2 more to add to this.
Really?
Yes. I really want to try Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. I know it's met with mixed reviews. We talked about that last time. I want to try it. I think it'll be really cool. And that
I want to see for myself.
I think that our son will really like it too.
Yes, no, I agree.
And I want to try Steakhouse 71 at the Contemporary.
Steakhouse 71.
Used to be the Wave. I used to love the Wave. We have not tried Steakhouse 71.
Oh my
but I've
gosh.
heard
If we do a
such
date night
good
thing, I
things.
want to go to the Villains Lounge.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
Just
Noted.
noted. I think you, me, and my sister can.
Well, that's
go
not
there.
a date night. If
Well,
your sister's
I
coming.
mean, like, come on, I want to bring her.
Whatever. So, Topolino's Yak and Yeti, Woody's the Roundup Rodeo. It's not Woody's Roundup Rodeo. It's just Roundup Rodeo.
I know. I feel like.
Always gets me. It's Woody's
Yeah.
Lunchbox. So that's
Oh.
why I want to do that. Roundup Rodeo
No,
Barbecue.
you know why you do
and
that?
Steakhouse
Because in
71.
the movie, it goes, Woody's Roundup.
Also true.
Okay. Anyway.
So those are 4 must-dos for us. Plus, I'll put Homecoming, but we already
Honestly,
established that.
it's really hard. This is really hard.
So I have other options that I've listed out here.
No, me too.
As not
I have
must-dos.
other things in my head,
But I
too,
feel
that
like
aren't,
those are the ones that I really want to do on this trip.
Yeah.
Really, really.
I really, really think that he would like breakfast at Crystal Palace.
So I wrote that down with a question mark.
Yeah.
Reason for that is he knows Pooh.
Yeah, I know.
Pooh Bear,
Pooh Bear.
as he likes to say.
It's Pooh Bear.
But he doesn't really know any of the other characters, I feel. Like, I don't feel like he's really a Winnie the Pooh guy.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know if he'll really appreciate Tigger and Igor and Piglet, which
Yeah.
are also the characters there.
Yes.
If you're not aware, Crystal Palace, dining establishment in
Magic
Kingdom at the end of Main Street on the left-hand side. It is character dining. You have your 100 Acre Woods characters.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to doing breakfast at Crystal Palace. And I think that that may be a really nice way to start off the vacation.
Yeah. I just
On
feel
that
like
Wednesday.
I just feel like getting there like really early, you know, when you have like Main Street really empty, getting some really nice pictures with like Memory Maker and having that time around the castle and then going for breakfast. I also think that that's one of my big experiences, at least with like when I went when I was younger, but then particularly the first time I went with your family, we did that really early morning thing. So I don't know. It's something about being like
Nostalgic.
the first people in the park, kind
Yeah.
of, and like just hanging out around there and watching the Disney ducks in the pond and waiting for like your breakfasts. I don't know.
Okay, you may have sold me.
All right.
But we have some work to do. We need to introduce him to...
I know. I feel like he knows the other character. He doesn't know Tigger.
He may, but not as much as he knows, like, Pooh.
Well, all right. Then we'll just have to, in these next 87 days, watch a lot of Winnie the Pooh.
I think you've sold me. I think for that Wednesday, if we're going to Magic Kingdom in the morning, first thing, we get Crystal Palace.
Yay.
Okay, what else, though?
Like that day or just in general?
No, just in general. I also want to bear in mind, there's 10 days. I think doing 5 breakfasts and 5 dinners or lunches makes sense.
Yeah.
5 and 5. So at this
Via
point, we
Napoli?
have 1 dinner and 1 breakfast. Gosh, can I... This may be unpopular.
I know.
I love me Via Napoli, but can we put that on the back burner for now?
I guess.
And we'll see, like, what else,
Yeah.
like, comes up. My parents have put in their votes for Kona Cafe at the Polynesian and Ale and Compass at the Yacht Club.
Yes.
I like these two, too. Like, I enjoy those breakfasts. I think that they're very good breakfasts. I get my jungle juice at Kona. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Do we think he's not old enough for Ohana?
Yes.
He's not
Too
old
expensive.
enough. And too
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Another trip, though. I would like
But
to
yeah,
do...
no, I would do Kona.
And I like Ale and Compass on our last day. I like when we stay at the beach club.
Do
that
we want
last
to
day
do
to
Cape
go
May?
and do. I don't think so this trip. I want to pass on Cape May.
All right.
Because we're going to do a lot of similar characters at
Yeah, no, I know.
Topolino's and maybe another dining establishment I want to propose for breakfast.
Okay.
But we'll get there.
Okay.
So, yeah. But I feel Kona and Ale and Compass are 2 good options for breakfast.
Yeah,
and I
no,
feel
they
like
are.
Ale and Compass on the last day, I like
And I
that
feel like
as the last
breakfasts
day.
at the parks are a little harder. Mm-hmm. You know? For just like casual and not character.
Yeah, they can definitely be.
So, yeah. I like
So I'm going
those
to put
two.
Ale and Compass on the last day because I like that. We're not going to a park that day. Maybe get a little bit of a later breakfast, have a chill day around the hotel before we have to head out to the airport. I like that. Like, especially since we're staying at the beach club.
Yeah, it's right there. You just walk
Easy
right
walk.
over.
Like, I think it makes sense. Kona will hold off on a day that we put that on. I don't want to commit
that could
to
be
a
like
day
another Magic Kingdom morning or, something like that.
However, what I want to propose as another breakfast option.
Garden Grill.
Tusker House.
Tusker House.
In Animal Kingdom.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's a fun one with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy. I love that breakfast. Gets us in the Animal Kingdom early. I like that.
I've always liked getting to Animal Kingdom and doing that because I feel like there's not a lot to do. I don't want to say that. But I think traveling with the toddler this time, I think it's going to be like early mornings, nap, early evening, maybe bedtime. Obviously, we might push it, see if he can stay up for the fireworks, if he even likes it. Don't know. Follow us along for that, because that could be really something. That could really, really, really be quite the experience. But no, I like that. I love Tusker House. I would pick that over Garden Grill for breakfast.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think so. We haven't been there in a long time for breakfast. Like, that's been one that it's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. I feel like your niece and nephew were like...
tiny.
Yeah,
and
not
I think
like tiny, but
we
like...
went on a trip where we went by ourselves.
It was like that spring break trip or something.
Yeah, I don't remember when. But we did do it once by ourselves, but it's been a while since we've done it.
Been a long time.
I think it's time to go back to
Do
Tusker
you want,
House.
like, during the week, it to be like... breakfast, dinner.
I like to break it up. Yeah,
I don't want to do... because you don't want to do like 2 early mornings in a row.
I agree.
All right, so that means Thursday would be not Animal Kingdom. I mean, I guess you still could, but it wouldn't be the breakfast.
You could go for in the afternoon to Animal Kingdom, perhaps, that day, but whatever.
Well, see, this is the hard part of, like, this is why you kind of want to know where you're going. And this is, even like when I talk to clients and stuff too, it's kind of like, well, it's like wherever the day takes us. And I'm like, but like, you see, you kind of need to know.
I don't know that you need to know, but you should have a good idea.
You should have a pretty good idea of what you want to do in the morning. If you're not a park hopper, then you know you're going to be in Magic Kingdom all day. So that narrows it down. Now I know what to do for your dining and all that stuff. But if you have a park hopper and you're not sure, the dining is really going to tell you where you need to be. So make sure you're not going all over the map.
So I think something else to consider here. Your parents are leaving on Monday.
Yes.
What time is their flight on Monday?
I don't know.
When are they leaving?
I don't know.
Is it an early flight or a late flight?
I have no idea.
Well, this is important information.
I don't know. Would you like me to find out?
Yes.
Maybe I can find out in this episode?
Well, I would hope so. Because I want to talk about that Monday.
Okay.
Because I have an idea. But this idea is only going to work if their flight is later in the day.
Well, while we wait for a response, on that Wednesday, the first day, to Crystal Palace, what do we kind of want to do at night?
I don't know.
Oh, so we're just gonna we're only gonna focus on the half of the day that we have the dining reservations.
Right. I want to focus on that first, and then we'll fill in the rest later. So, Sunday, where would your parents want to go Sunday night? Sunday, pro tip, I'm giving this away. Sunday mornings at Epcot is chef's kiss. I think it's one of the best times to visit Epcot. Sunday night, no. Sunday afternoon, get out. But Sunday before, like 1 o'clock, is lovely in Epcot. And it's going to be the Flower and Garden Festival. I want to get in there. I want to enjoy some Flower and Garden Festival Sunday morning.
So this is a breakfast day. Do you want to try to do Topolino's?
See, here's my thing, though.
Oh.
I feel like that's taken us out.
And
I know that it's not horribly far.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
That's taken us away, and I want to get into Epcot first thing in the morning. So I really don't want to do a breakfast that morning. I understand that with the every other day.
Okay.
I think we should avoid breakfast that day. Have a nice morning in Epcot, and then we'll do something at another park at night.
Okay.
This is why I'm asking. Is there a park that you think that they really are going to want to go to on their last night? Like, Should
I
we try
really
to
don't think that
get a certain meal
they
or a
care
certain
that
place?
much. Their exact words to me were, "We're along for the ride." So, the only thing they did say, which I actually thought was really funny, was Whispering Canyon
Oh,
at Wilderness Lodge.
they wanted to do that.
They like
that a
that
priority
barbecue
for them?
thing. Well, they were when I asked, she was like, "What about that place where they give you all the ketchup?" And they do. I was like,
Okay.
"Oh, interesting."
Well, let's put that on there just in case.
Yeah.
Put that on there as a maybe.
Because I know we
if they
wanted
did want
to
do that,
go
then.
over there and
So my thought here
okay,
is, let's do Steakhouse 71
on Sunday.
on Sunday night.
Okay.
My logic for this is, if we play our cards right, that's at the Contemporary,
Yeah.
that's going to be a good meal, I feel like. They're going to end their trip with a great meal. And then maybe if we play our cards right and Luke is up for it, maybe we stay for fireworks that night.
And they're far
that's their
enough
last
away
night.
where it might not be like traumatizing.
Right. Or we ride over after Steakhouse 71 and we go and hang out at the Polynesian
Or on
and
the
we
beach.
watch from there. Or we do
I think
something
that's a great
like
idea.
that
Yeah.
on that Sunday night,
Yeah.
if the weather cooperates.
Unlike the last time we tried to do that.
Yeah.
But we tried and it's fine. Anyways, that's
So
a different
I
story.
propose Steakhouse 71 for a Sunday meal in the late afternoon, early evening. And maybe we go to Magic Kingdom. We'll see how it plays in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I kind of want to avoid Magic Kingdom on the weekends, but
Yeah.
we'll go to that area. Maybe not into
Even
the
if you're
parks per
just
se.
into those resorts and you just kind of
Yeah.
resort hop and I mean he would probably love to just play in the sand at the Poly and
Mm-hmm.
just, you know, kind of goof around. I feel like it's so different when you're not like go like in your trips, and I know that we're blessed enough that we have the opportunity to go so often. But really it's something in like those moments where you're just like when we were just in those chairs at the Poly, just toes in the sand, just grab a drink and just, I don't know, you just breathe in, breathe out, and you're just like in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just kind of like, wow, I'm here. And it's in those moments where I feel like those memories really, really happen.
Sure.
I don't think it's in it does happen, but it's not always, you know, on the rides and the shows and the dining and the everything else that you try to put on, especially with little ones. It's in those very small moments, even as a kid, that I can remember. The best memories weren't even in a Disney park when we went. They were like at the hotel or like on the way there and like stuff like that. So I highly, highly, highly support this.
Great. Love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Back on track.
Sorry.
Thank you for that tangent. So,
I thought it was heartfelt.
Saturday, we're not going to the parks, so we need to keep that
Right.
in mind. May
Yes.
make sense to try for a breakfast that day. I don't know that Topolino's is the play, though.
I know, that's what I was going to say. That's a good breakfast to
I don't
do,
think that that's the play. I think that that's a good day for a Kona, maybe.
Okay.
At the Polynesian, kind of
Yeah.
take a chill day, maybe do a little bit of
It's just
resort
getting
hopping
there.
after that.
That's annoying.
I also think that if you really wanted to do Whispering Canyon, that may be a good day to do it at lunch. Maybe not do a breakfast, but kind of do like a lunch in the middle of the day at Whispering Canyon. So I think that that's a possibility too. So I think there's a few possibilities there. We'll keep it open. Have we heard back from them about their flight time? This is critical.
No, I'm going to call.
We'll put on the Jeopardy music here, folks. We'll be back with you shortly.
We can't do that either. All right, I have an answer.
That won't get flagged for copyright. You can't play the actual thing.
Oh.
But
Anyways, I have an answer.
okay.
They're leaving at 3 something in the afternoon.
Yes! My plan will work! I think we should go to Topolino's that morning.
Okay.
So hear me out. This is in the second week of our stay. I think we may have a better chance a Monday morning of getting a dining reservation there that's easy for your parents to get to from where they're staying at Art of Animation Pop Century. I forget which one. They can take the Skyliner over. It's not that hard for them to get in between there.
Yeah.
We can take the Skyliner over.
Can meet over there.
Meet over there.
Perfect.
We'll have breakfast. We can say our goodbyes. Do all that stuff, you know, and then we can go off to whatever park we want to go to. Maybe Hollywood Studios. I don't know how much time we'll spend in Hollywood Studios.
Well, I feel like we should hang out with them until lunch, till they leave.
We can have a pretty chill day, but we'll move on to a
Yeah,
park at
move
some
on
point.
after they go on their Mears bus back
Yes.
to reality. We're going to stay
We are.
for a few more days.
Yes, we are. So I think that's the play on Monday.
Yeah.
Topolino's.
I think so too.
Nice chill breakfast.
I like it.
Great. Look at us go. So right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the days spoken for. The first Tuesday, the first Wednesday, Sunday, Monday, and the second Thursday are all spoken for. So we have 5 more days to fill. We have
Okay.
3 breakfasts and 2 dinners. So
Need more din-dins.
let's fill out the rest of the week.
Well, the Thursday after Magic Kingdom would be our second day.
Yep.
Do we want to do another breakfast, or do we want to do a dinner that
I
day?
don't think I want to do another. I think I want to do a dinner that day.
Okay. So where do we want to go in the morning? Is that an Animal Kingdom morning? Or are we only doing Animal Kingdom in the morning when we have the breakfast?
I think that would make sense to do Tusker House in the morning.
Yeah, because it'll be
breakfast,
really
yeah.
early. We'll get
Yeah.
early access to that. So how do we feel about Epcot? Or how do we feel about Hollywood Studios?
Sure.
In
That
the
second
morning.
Yeah, why not? So where are we going?
And
More
then-
importantly, what are we doing for dinner that
I would
night?
think either Animal Kingdom or Epcot.
Do you want to go for a Yak and Yeti that day?
We could, yeah. Early in the
Your
trip.
parents like Yak and Yeti?
Yeah, no, they did.
So let's go
Who
for
doesn't
Yak
like
and
Yak
Yeti
and
for
Yeti?
dinner.
Cool. Oh, I wrote it on the wrong day. Oh, man. Okay. Next day.
So of the things that we still said that we wanted to do, Kona, maybe Whispering Canyon, maybe Via Napoli, Roundup Rodeo, and Tusker House. Are your parents going to want to do Tusker House breakfast with us?
Probably, yeah. They're probably going to want to do everything.
Well,
We should just
clearly
assume-
that's not going to happen, so...
Well, I meant everything that we're doing when they're there.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying,
oh.
is that something that you think that we should do while they're there?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because that may change the logic behind doing Yak and Yeti on that Thursday, too. So if they really want to do Tusker House for breakfast, maybe we should go to Animal Kingdom on the Friday morning instead of the Thursday night and do Tusker House for breakfast rather than Yak and Yeti.
Oh,
See what I'm saying? And save Yak
Yeah.
and Yeti for later in the trip.
I mean, I know that they'd probably much rather see Luke with characters than they would at just a normal dinner. So I feel like that would be the answer, but I can always double check.
So Animal Kingdom will go to Tusker House for breakfast then on the Friday. Which means I really don't want to go to Animal Kingdom at night on the Thursday.
Do you want to do Magic Kingdom that night?
I think we should do Hollywood Studios that night. And maybe do the
On
Roundup
Thursday,
Rodeo.
we just said we were doing Hollywood Studios in the morning.
We're changing it all up. Because we had
My
something thrown in our
goodness.
way. That may be a good day to do the Roundup Rodeo.
Yeah. So where are we going in the morning then?
I don't know. That's...
I know. I'm sorry. I don't. I just really just want to do everything all at once, and I always do that. Okay. Then Tusker House, and then no park ticket on Saturday.
Right.
And then I have Steakhouse 71.
So we have Roundup
Oh.
on Thursday, though,
Yes.
at Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
For Din. Good. No park on Saturday. So, gosh, this could be a good day to try to do a lunch at Whispering Canyon, or it could be a good day to do the breakfast at Kona.
I would say breakfast at Kona.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Later breakfast at Kona.
Yeah.
Have a chill morning and...
Like a mid-morning breakfast. Like a 9.
Sure. That way we're not in a rush out the door, but...
I agree.
Okay. So,
That way we can just bounce around after that.
right. So by my numbers...
Oh,
then-
my dad really wants beignets.
Okay, great.
That's just going to have to be a deceased breakfast day. That just popped into my head.
Could be the Tuesday or it could be the Saturday, but either day we can make it happen.
All right.
Which means now we just have the Tuesday and the Wednesday left.
And what do we have left for must-dos? Anything? Yak and Yeti?
Must-dos, we have Yak and Yeti, and then Via Napoli, or
Ooh.
Whispering Canyon. But your parents said that they wanted to do Whispering Canyon.
Yeah.
So we could push Whispering Canyon up to the Thursday and replace the Roundup Rodeo Barbecue on the Thursday.
If we keep changing it.
How heart set were they on
I
going
don't
to
think
that?
they were like that heart set on it. She was just like, that's the only one I really remembered.
Okay.
I don't think it was like, you know, we need to go back there.
So where do you want to be on the Wednesday night before we're done? Our last full day in the parks. Where do you want to be on that Wednesday?
That's a good question. Magic Kingdom or Epcot?
Or both?
Or both?
Would you like to do Via Napoli for dinner on the Wednesday, the last day? Or Yak and Yeti? But that's in Animal Kingdom.
No. We can do that on Tuesday. There are no other nights? I guess not. Oh, it's because we did 2 breakfasts like in a row.
Yes.
No, I'd rather do Via Napoli and do Magic Kingdom in the morning and Epcot at night on our last day, and do Via Napoli and then get Artisans de Glace.
Done. And so Yak and Yeti on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Here it is. The first rough draft.
And we'll let you know if this changes.
It
but
probably will.
Tuesday, Homecoming for dinner. Wednesday, Crystal Palace breakfast. Thursday, Roundup Rodeo Barbecue for dinner. Friday, Tusker House for breakfast. Saturday, Kona for breakfast.
But later.
Sunday, Steakhouse 71 for dinner. Monday, Topolino's for breakfast. Tuesday, Yak and Yeti for dinner. Wednesday, Via Napoli for dinner. Thursday, Ale and Compass for breakfast. How do we feel about this?
This feels good to me.
We have 2 new restaurants we've never eaten at before
Yes.
on this list.
Good for us, because we don't do that.
We also have 3. I'm sorry,
No,
3.
3.
Topolino's, Steakhouse 71, and Roundup Rodeo Barbecue. So that's 3 new restaurants for us.
That makes
4.
you...
Homecoming.
Oh,
Hello.
wait, 4. Homecoming.
Oh
yeah,
my
we haven't
gosh.
been there.
What am I, thick in the
Okay,
skull?
no, so this is really good, because we don't ever
4.
veer away.
4 new restaurants.
4 new
Homecoming,
restaurants.
Steakhouse 71, Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, and Topolino's. Then we have 2 restaurants that we haven't been to in a while.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace
And Tusker
and
House.
Tusker House. And then we have 4 tried and true favorites, I guess.
Yeah.
Via Napoli, Yak and Yeti, Kona, and Ale and Compass.
More comfort places.
I think that that's pretty good.
I think we did really well.
I think
as
that's
far
a
as
good
mixing it up.
spread
I
of
feel
getting
like we
some new
haven't-
stuff, some
yeah.
stuff we haven't been to in a while, and
Yeah.
some old tried and true favorites.
Yeah. We still get our favorites mixed in there, but we also have some new ones. There are other things on the list that I do want to try, but our son's just not old enough yet, I don't think. And it's just, that's going to be a later thing, or if, we just
And when you go
or something,
often or often
No,
enough,
I know. That's what I mean. We can... It's fine.
it's not like if you miss something one time, it's not the end of the world. There's
Yeah.
always...
But, yeah. Good spread. Good mix. You have to have your favorites in there.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, folks, you just heard how the sausage is made. That was pretty real.
Yeah.
That was not staged. That's pretty much how all of our conversations go, so...
It
see
usually
behind the
more
curtain of
because
our
there's
Disney
usually
planning.
more voices and more opinions thrown in there. So this was actually a lot smoother than the conversations usually go.
Well, and this is why things are probably going to change. We'll take this to the committee, and the committee will have things to say.
We're going to present the rough draft. I'm sure people will have different things to add or change, but I feel like this is a really good skeleton.
It is.
This is. And then this will help decide where we're going in the mornings or afternoons, depending on dining reservation. So this is the start of having a good itinerary.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the realities of maybe not getting what you're hoping
always want to
for,
have some backups, some plan B restaurants.
So you have to keep that in mind, that even the best laid plans of mice and men are,
It's true.
So, well, folks, we hope that you found this episode helpful. We're very excited to go on our Disney trip, and we hope that you are excited to plan your next Disney trip. And if you are excited to plan your next Disney trip, reach out to Rachel at armello@mickeystravels.com. Follow us on our social media accounts. If you have any comments or questions for us, send us an email. It starts with a wish.podcast@gmail.com. And remember, folks, it all starts with a wish. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.